All right, big warm welcome to everybody out there live and post stream. And we are ready to begin. Shout out to Northwoods Press, Maria Olivares. Thank you so much for attending. And I'll take a look at the chat in a bit. I tend to look at the chat either during if we have a lot of people or afterwards if you have a lot of questions. I love the questions more towards the end so I can end the stream with your guys' notes. So please fire away if you have any questions or just sit back and enjoy the stream. Your preference. Or both. So welcome. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right. So this is the series How to Succeed. It's different from the benefits of, because the benefits of is going to list sort of how to benefit from a certain change, but this one right here is how to succeed and how to actually succeed in doing so. There's not as many variables involved. It's just pretty straightforward. Not such a big topic either. It's very specific how to succeed. So that's the main difference between the benefits of series and how to succeed. And actually the one who started this one was Westside Accountability, so shout out to her on succeeding in, not succeeding, but the benefits of, let me see here. I need a refresher if I can. Just look at episode 1, How to Succeed. It was very recent, the one with the robot image. I believe it's modern dating, right? How to succeed in modern dating. So this is episode 2, and we're going to have more of these to catch up with the other episodes because we're approaching the 10 with some of them. All right, let's get right into it. So this is about letting go. Perhaps one of the most difficult things for most human beings to do because their past tends to haunt them in so many ways. Negative ways, and that's what I'm here to help anybody with, including what everybody has is post-traumatic stress. Not a disorder per se, because if it was a disorder you wouldn't be able to function. You'd have flashbacks constantly. You'd be popping pills to suppress those thoughts, those feelings, those images in your head. So not all post-traumatic stress is a disorder. We'll get into that. So be very careful who you allow to enter into your life. You are ultimately the only one who's responsible. So if you have to let go of someone, including your own family, by the way, not everybody's family is a good family, and not all friends are good friends. It's just a sad reality in this life. If you were fortunate enough to grow up with a decent or good family, kudos to you. You are fortunate. And if you had good friends, no real bad experiences, never got bullied, maybe you don't have any traumatic memories, that's excellent. I feel great for you. I feel proud. Because you got to have what many of us would have loved to have had. A family that stuck around. In my case, I was exiled. I have a story that I'm very proud to share. Proud in the sense because I've earned my independence from an abusive family. They weren't always abusive. They were just very strict in the beginning. And then it got worse and worse. So that's that. If you want to talk about it, I'll be happy to talk about it in the comments. But I think I discussed it already in my Ask Me Anything. So you can watch that. The second episode, I believe. So yes, be very careful who you allow into your life. Family is just by default. You can't really help that. If you grew up as an orphan, well, similar situation. People are tossed by default into your life, like it or not. So you can't really choose there. What I'm talking about choose is when you're an adult, when you're independent, be very careful of who you trust. It doesn't mean trust no one. I've even seen a person with a tattoo on his arm. It says, trust no one. I said, look, guy, to each their own, but be very careful with that attitude if that's what you have. you know, and he's actually Italian. But I talked to him. I said, "Hey, how come you have that tattoo?" And he's like, "Oh, it was a long time ago." I'm like, "Okay, I'm not gonna pry. Why am I gonna pry?" I'm just against that. Trust no one, because if you're afraid to trust, you're gonna lose everything. In this life, you have to be careful who you trust, obviously. But don't go around, saying you're not going to trust anyone. That's not only naive, but you're going to be in the losers category. You can't go to such extremes. You'll find out the hard way if you insist. I guarantee you that. Trusting is one of the most beautiful things in this life, because when you find somebody that you can trust 100%, aka your soulmate, or maybe you have a great family, maybe just one brother or sister, maybe just one person in that family you can trust 100%. They won't go telling everybody else. Hold on to them. You're going to need them. And they're going to need you, most likely. Lean on me, right? Alright, so letting go of a future that will most likely never happen. Be realistic. Some people live in the future. Some people live in the past. It's not always PTSD. It's anxiety. Oh, I worry about the future. My mom would do this all the time. Worry about, her kid's future. Worry about her future. I'm like, we all had to bring her back, down from the skies, and say, what are you doing? Living in the future or in the past can cause extreme depression, anxiety, fear. So it boils down to. Let's go ahead and read this, because I chose this random image for a reason. Let's see if I agree with it. It's not really letting go of the past that is the problem. It is coming to terms with letting go of a possible future that will never be. That is the struggle. The mind wants to keep its fantasies, even when they are wrong, unhealthy, dangerous, or even cruel. To let go of the past, you must let go of the future and live in the present. Look, the only thing correct in this one is live in the present moment. I always preach that. Don't live in the past, don't live in the future, live in the moment. And it's very hard when you tell people to do this. They don't even know how. And just when I say eliminate all forms of negativity in your life, they're like, what do you mean? And then they don't even want to try it, and they'll say, oh, that's impossible. Just like finding their soulmate. Oh, that's impossible. Well, you didn't even try. Of course it's impossible if you don't even try, if you didn't even give it a thought. That's like learning how to drive. I don't know, let me just smash the pedal to the metal. No, you got a brake pad, you got the steering wheel, you got a shifter, Doesn't matter if it's automatic transmission or manual. I mean, come on now. You got to watch the road. You got to be mindful of the weight of the car to not roll over on, heavy curves, steep curves. And, I mean, come on. I mean, you can't treat life as so brutal and say, there is no soulmate, there is no love. I mean, how naive can you be? Let's take a look at this quote here, though. It's kind of a quote. So, it's not really letting go of the past that is the problem. No, that is the problem. For a lot of people, you got to let it go. It is coming to terms with letting go of a possible future that will never be. No, it's both. It could be either or. Some people, as I said, worry about the future, and a lot of people live in the past. The past affects their present. And of course, worrying about the future affects their present. That's the struggle. So this one right here would get pretty much a fail. But unfortunately, that's how a lot of people think. So let's go ahead and move on here. And her heart finally told her to let it all go. Absolutely, sometimes you have to let it all go. What do we mean, though? We have to be specific. We have to be specific. Letting go of a horrible past allows you the opportunity to replace it with a better one. That's the secret. If you have post-traumatic stress, even a post-traumatic stress disorder, you have to cure yourself. Now, the disorder is very difficult to cure, but popping pills is not the solution either. I would say intense coaching, intense practice of having a positive mindset, conducting positive activities, living a positive life. The goal here is to replace your horrific past with a better one. And it's fun. It's funny because the present becomes the past, the new past. As I speak right now, this is one of my famous examples, and I'll go ahead and give it to you. Why not? What I just said is already in the past, but also what I was going to say is already in the present. That's how fast it happens. You can go ahead and rewind that. What I mean is, you're about to do something all the time. But what you just did has already happened. What I'm saying right now is already in the past. What I was going to tell you was in the future. So the present moment has both the past and the future. Understand? So that's why you must live in the present, because it contains both you are literally creating what you're about to do and what you've just done. A new reality, if you will. So if you allow your mind to dictate and say, no, 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 blah, 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 negative, 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 then you'll never have a positive future and you'll have a negative past, a horrible present. You'll be living in misery. Get it? That's why I say daily, on a daily basis. It's not robotic. It's necessary in order to build the best future possible. That's why I say perfect. Perfection does exist. Anybody who denies the art of perfection is not a positive person. They're a negative person, and they will bring you down. They'll say, oh, but reality is perfection doesn't exist. Those are losers. Do not listen to losers. They're not winners. Think about that athlete going for the gold medal in the Olympics. If he or she thought that way, they would not get that gold medal. The coach is the one saying, yes, you can, and yes, you will. And he's the one with the liability. The responsibility to train that athlete to get that gold medal. Because maybe he did it in the past too. Understand? Hang out with winners, not losers. That's what this channel's all about. We are a group of winners. 100 lion, not 1,000 sheep. No weaklings allowed. And if you're a weakling, let me strengthen you. I'll turn you into a lion. But you have to allow me to help you. Because ultimately, you're going to have to make that change. That's what being a life coach is all about, by the way. You have some lousy coaches out there, and you have to actually pay them, by the way. Right now, as a new life coach, I'm giving all this for free. You want a one-on-one? I'll give you a one-on-one. An hour, one-on-one. Your own particular case. Anonymous. Nobody has to know about your issues. That's why I have a Discord server. A permanent Discord server. People have DM'd me. They direct messaged me, especially last year. This year's a little slow, but I understand because it's a new year. Things are busy. Let's continue. All right, what do we got here? So, love yourself enough to let go of people, thoughts, and habits which get in the way of joy and growth. Absolutely. You think a flower is going to grow on its own? No. It needs water. This is not unconditional love, which doesn't exist. It needs water. It needs the sun. It needs nutrients from the soil. Strong roots, right? It needs the insects to leave it alone, to not eat the dang plant. It needs the animals to leave it alone. There's threats. There's hazards, right? Even the harsh weather can kill the plant. But it still needs the right conditions in order to survive and thrive. End of story. So the relationships are the same. Your life is the same. This stream is more about your attitude in life. Having a positive passion. So letting go of negative attitudes, negative emotions, negative habits. That's what this is all about. And if you don't know how to let go, you better work on it. It's now or never. Don't wait for, okay, I'll start on Monday. Well, I'll start next year. New Year's resolutions. How many people actually fulfill those? Statistically, it's always horrible. Pretty much next to failure. Letting the past go, especially letting past failed relationships go. Let's see this image right here. Letting go is not the same as giving up. Precisely. If you have to take one step backward, make sure you take two steps forward to compensate. So let's see what they mean here, and then I'll tell you what I mean here. Letting go is not the same as giving up. Yes, sometimes you have to let go. Like for myself, I had to let go of my family. They were toxic. They were abusers. All of them narcissists. They'll pretend to care about you, but in the end, they show their true colors. If a friend does that, if a family member does that, you better start questioning who you're actually involved with. It doesn't matter. Bad blood. Unfortunate, just misfortune. Call it whatever, but you need to protect yourself. These people will never stop abusing you. All they want to do is track you. They want to abuse you. They want to manipulate you. They don't care about you. So you have to be very careful with such people, toxic people. And the sad news is that they'll never stop because their own lives are miserable. They might have great success in their lives, but they're pretenders, living in denial. They think they're happy when they're not. A happy person wants to love others and help others. That's a happy person. A miserable person wants to tear you down, is jealous, it wants to be in competition with you, wants to be better than you, wants to call you out on this and that. Those are miserable people. They're everywhere. So what I mean here in this image, aside from the image itself, what it's saying, you have to learn how to let past failed relationships go. Learn and move on. Doesn't matter how good it was, doesn't matter how bad it was. Train yourself to move on. Yes, get over it. Because it's going to make you stronger, whatever doesn't kill you. Let's proceed. So, letting go teaches you that life is flexible, that you are in charge. Yes, you are in charge. Sometimes you can't control things that are out of your control. I'll say that much. It's true. So what happens? Remember in the beginning, stop worrying about the future. Stop worrying about the decisions you already made because it's already in the past. Learn to make better ones if you feel that you can. Learn to plan ahead. Contingency planning, right? So the point is, always better yourself whenever possible. And that's what becoming soulmates is all about, by the way. Each and every single day. Alright. Moving on to a better relationship, if that's the case. Because there are people who fall into this category. Choosing a potential soulmate. It's all up to you. What do you want to find in your potential soulmate? They have to check all the blocks. I mean, don't have 100 blocks, just 10, maybe 5. The most important things that you must have in your partner, your future partner, if your current partner or past partner has all failed, or it's failing now, you're gonna have to make the decision sooner or later. One way or another, you're gonna have to leave that relationship that's bringing you down. And it doesn't even matter how long you guys been together. You could be together for over 20 years. Like in my case, I'm as happy as can be. I'm still the highest level of love with my soulmate. But some people out there, they've been with their partner as long as I have, but the quality isn't that high. And they severely doubt their capability of reaching a height like mine. And I tell them, see, time does not dictate whether you're in a soulmate relationship. So my case, happy as can be, couldn't be any happier. Their case, they've been with each other the same amount of time, not as happy as can be. So time doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I've seen old people together say, oh, we hate each other's guts, but we love each other. No, that's not love. That's being two goofballs. And I bet they still argue, with each other over the stupidest things, and they're not happy. That's what comes out of the mouths of immature people. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. Because, you got to move on. Look, there's no compromise when it comes to your perfect soulmate. If you don't understand what that means, read my book, watch my movie. If you don't like books, it's only an hour long. Or have a one-on-one with me in Discord. I'll explain it to you. So back to PTSD, because I really wanted to just nail this one. You see here all these words, that this type of style of illustration has been around for several years now. I don't know, maybe over 10 years. Post-traumatic stress disorder, but it doesn't have to be a disorder. It could just be post-traumatic stress. Stress in the past. It doesn't have to be traumatic either. Very important. It could be PS, right? Post stress. It doesn't have to be necessarily traumatic. The word Traum in German means to dream. That's where they get traumatic. Traumatic. Very important. It puts you in a dream state to where you're no longer here. You wave the hand in front of the person. Hey, hello, you here? No, they're having a flashback. They're in a state of dreaming, right? Traum. Traum means to dream in German. Many people don't understand the etymology of these acronyms or the words. So trigger, anxiety, arousal in a negative way. That's not sexual, by the way. Survivors, avoidance, flashbacks, disorder, fear. There you go, fear. Irritable, traumatic experience, emotional, headaches, thoughts, negative thoughts, symptoms. It's all there, severe trauma, but it doesn't have to be severe. It is psychological, but it can affect the body and your emotions, your negative energy and emotion. So, yes, post-traumatic stress or post-stress, you have to learn to move on from it. So, like I said, not all cases are disorders. Most cases are actually curable if it's just post-traumatic stress or post-stress. You just have to go, you don't have to relive it, but you have to go and realize, okay, I'm no longer in that situation, hopefully. What did I learn from that situation that I can prevent from ever happening again? It's just that simple. But the hard part is up to you, your mindset. You got to fix your mindset. Because the mind is not the problem. Your mind is going to record everything and anything, like it or not. It's like a camcorder. We're not meant to experience negative experiences in this life. End of story. I don't care what anybody says about that. Your brain is not trained. It's not made to live a negative life. That's a slow death. That's when you're going to have disorders. You're going to have of all kinds. Mental, physical, emotional. All right, let's move on here. Because PTS, I can cover for an entire stream all the details. So not to get too much into detail. Letting go of your career to start a new one. That's a big one. Moving to a new location, whether it be nationally or internationally. Don't be afraid to do this, folks. If you're afraid to move to a better location to find that soulmate, that potential soulmate, or to be happier, do it. Just go. Go on a vacation. Check it out first. Go scout it out. Check it out. Go for maybe a day or two or a week, hopefully, close to a week, something like that. Save up some money to go do it. It doesn't have to be the Bahamas. Be a little bit realistic, some place where it's not that expensive to live. Cost of living, right? There's a lot of expatriates everywhere across the world. It doesn't have to be just next door to another state. Let's say you move from Texas to Arizona. Maybe it's a great move. Sometimes it's going to be more of the same. More of the same, okay? Walmart in Texas is the same as Walmart in Arizona. When you move to Europe, it's a whole different story, okay? When you move to Asia, it's a whole different story. South America, a whole different story. Now, if you're that adventurous, go for it. If not, you want to play it safe because you're used to the United States, fine. Do an East Coast to West Coast move, but don't go to California or New York because right now they're changing those suckers into smart cities, and it's going to be very nasty in the future because people don't care about what's really going on. I'm not going to depress you with that. Just know that Trump and Biden are joined at the hip. They're all one and the same, two wings of the same corrupt bird. I'll leave it at that. If you haven't done your homework, then you won't understand. Keep living in the matrix. Stay plugged in, for all I care. So sheeple will be sheeple. But your happiness depends on you. So if it's not working where you're living, you can't just, switch towns. That might work. But sometimes you got to switch states, switch countries, and that's all up to you. You got to go based on what you like. If you're more attracted to an Asian person, consider moving to Asia somewhere. But there's a lot of different Asian countries, okay? You got to get educated. Who exactly are you attracted to? It might be race or ethnicity, But right now the whole world's a melting pot, so you can find almost anybody in every country. But nah, not really. Some countries are mostly this and that. So Yeah, I mean, but sometimes it's not racial. It could be because for me, I'm attracted to Latina. I'm just not attracted to the other races. I mean, I could see the beauty. I could see the beauty, but I'm just not, mind and body doesn't go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? So everybody's wired differently. Find out. You got to know yourself, know thyself, and what attracts you, right? And what I'm saying is not just race. It could be activity based. Like maybe you want that surfer chick or that surfer guy. Well, you might want to consider popular places where there's surfing involved, right? Or skiing. Oh, I love to ski. I want somebody who loves to ski. Go to a ski resort. Get out of your comfort zone is what I'm saying, for crying out loud, even if you have to change countries. All right, end of that. That's enough of that. You guys get the picture. All right, here's a really important one right here. Let go of your old self. It's like shedding your skin, right? We're not snakes, but shed that old skin of yours, man. An old attitude. Your old self. Create a new one, a new you. Redefine what you stand for and who you are. This is part of the maturation process, becoming an adult. You want to become wiser, more intelligent, stronger, physically stronger. Make the moves necessary in order to become that person. It's not impossible, it just requires consistency. So a bit of patience, but most of all dedication, devotion. I can't give you those things. These are things that you have to develop on your own. I can motivate you in the right direction. I can guide you, but that's about it. Guide you in the right direction. But if you don't want my guidance, then now you're really lost, because you're going to have to guide yourself, which could take years. Use everybody else's experiences. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be me, but ask others. Hey, how did you do this? What do you think about that? How did you feel when you did that? Or how did you know to do this? Whatever it is, go for it. But mentorship is one of the most powerful, easiest, fastest ways. Just ask somebody who's been there. So since I have the most beautiful relationship in the world, you can too. But if you don't ask me questions, then, well, you can remain skeptic, like a skeptic, and just find out the hard way. But at least go ask somebody else if you don't ask me. Because if you haven't found your soulmate yet, time's a ticking. So I don't want you to run out of that. All right. Here's the biggest one here. This is what I'm going to leave the stream with. Alrighty. So let go of unhealthy addictions, okay? You know what they are. Smoking, drinking. I've seen people downing bottles of alcohol on their streams. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And what are you promoting? It says a lot about a person if the shoe fits. I'm just saying, let go of these stupid, unhealthy addictions. They're not doing you any good. They're going to kill you just that much faster. Smoking, drinking, caffeine. Yes, caffeine's a drug. Sugar, the manufactured sugar, not sugar from fruits. That won't kill you. But manufactured sugar and also manufactured salts, not natural salts, they're going to kill you. Slow kills, fast kills, right? No exercise. That's a big killer right there, because cardiovascular disease is like perhaps the number one killer, I believe. Too much sitting down. It's okay if you want to sit down and rest or even lay down for a while, but get back up. Go do some exercise. Go do a hobby. Go do something that's a little bit active. You don't have to be standing up and jumping up and down every day. Oh, and all day. I'm just saying, just be a little bit more active. Trust me, that extra 15 to 30 minutes of activity is going to add up times 7 days a week. Something easy to do. And guess what? Now you have how many hours of extra activity, right? Just a little bit goes a long way because it's cumulative. It adds up every day. Just like these bad habits. If you're downing half a bottle of whiskey in, 1 to 3 days, 4 days, it doesn't matter. That week you just downed a whole bottle of whiskey. I mean, how stupid can you be? If you smoked a pack of cigarettes, now you smoke, 7 packs in a week? You have any idea what that's going to do? That's cancer. It's going to be future cancer. You see what I'm telling you, people? I mean, I see people boast about marijuana, right? Sure, if you have a lot of pain and you have to suppress the pain, but for leisurely smoking marijuana, you're just dumbing down your brain. I don't care what studies say. because it's a business. Of course, they're gonna pay for these studies, billions of dollars, to say, "Oh, it's good for you. Just smoke away." You know, it's horrible. Oh yeah, just take some LSD, take some marijuana. Some what is it called? Shrooms, because they're natural mushrooms. And look, I didn't need not one mushroom to awaken my third eye, as they say. My intuition. My intuition is what I call it, not the third eye. But just to relate to other people who believe in the third eye, your pineal gland. I get it. I call it intuition. The connection between your mind and your soul through the power of the human spirit, your emotions, that energy, the chakras, if you will. I don't call them chakras because they're related to, I don't know, Hinduism or whatnot. I just call it energy. It doesn't have to be the spine. It's just the whole body, the mind, and the emotions. Your soul is your life force. Anybody who denies the existence of a soul is a fool, because a robot doesn't have a soul. It has an energy source, but we have souls. Otherwise, we would be just robots. Fleshy nobodies. That's kind of spooky if you think about it. I guess a zombie is a good example of a soulless creature. Anyways, that's a different topic for a different time. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat and see what we got. What a wild stream, huh? A little bit of controversy, but I love jumping into controversy because it's all discussable. Alrighty. So, let's see what we got here. Yes, shout out to Westside Accountability. Yeah, don't get stuck in the past. Lemmy, welcome to the stream. The past is the past, absolutely. The pacifist, yes. I guess I can, yeah, you could probably turn it into pastafist also. No sheep here. Yeah. It needs a person to take care for sure. Maria Olivares, thank you so much for being so for all your participation. It's always it's always very just so motivating to see. In moderation. Yeah, get your high in life. There you go. Get high on love. Absolutely. I like your attitude, Maria. And everybody else does too, whenever you attend to their streams. Everybody loves Maria, so thank you so much. That's a lot of participation. Sable, there we go. Welcome to the stream as well, Sable. Don't want to miss her. She does some great DJing. She's DJ Sable. So go support her, please. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. This was pretty fun to put together. And I always keep it as basic as possible to not lose anybody in all the extreme details. Sometimes I'll go on tangents, but that's just me. I'll come back down to earth. Don't worry. From the sky back down to the earth. Sometimes you gotta fly a little bit, and just let loose what you want to say, and express yourself. Right? Don't keep things in. And yeah, hope everybody finds their true love one day. But for now, enjoy life. And enjoy this week coming up. Don't fear anything or anyone, and always strive for that pursuit of happiness, right? All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Love everyone. Stay safe out there, and until next time.